.com app.
Are the Cowboys true contenders? Defining contending as they can win the Super Bowl. That you think you think that there is a decent shot. There's a justifiable way for you to truly believe that the Cowboys can win the Super Bowl. Do they belong in that contender discussion? 877-881-1053. After what they did to the Saints and the win streak that they're on and the defensive formula.
Look, the short answer is, are they a contender to win? The short answer is, no. The Rams and Saints are still better teams. And on the road, you're going to have to face, because they are going to have to face those teams on the road. If they got them at home, if they were going to be like the 1 seed or a 2 seed, I could see it. But the fact that you would have to go to New Orleans, which is a brutal place to play, and in a playoff game, you're not afforded the same opportunity to get your fans in the stadium. Playoff games are far more hometown fans. You don't get 6 months to plan for it. So you don't get always your split. The Cowboys have a big road advantage a lot of times. In a playoff game, you're not going to necessarily have that the way you would in a regular season game. So having to go to L.A. and the Saints, short answer is no. You're not going to win both of them. You're going to have to go to both places, and you're not going to win both of them.
Okay. I'm going to say no as well before Optimistic Roy jumps in here. But for Saints and Rams on another level, I'm still waiting on Minnesota to click.
Keep waiting. Enjoy.
My Vikings have disappointed me throughout the entire season. They got worked by the Patriots the other night. So the Cowboys can be on the level of the Vikings and the Bears. So if you're on the level of the Vikings, Bears, and Seahawks, those teams are right after the top two discussion. I guess I could say, well, that in itself, if I'm that close, I can convince myself that they're a contender. They can go and defense travels, and I can limit any team. If I limited the Saints, this is my problem with picking NFL playoff games. I can't allow myself to believe that Saints defensive performance can be duplicated over and over. This is my Achilles heel in betting. This is my biggest problem. NFL postseason games, it cost me with the Seahawks title. It cost me with the Broncos title. It cost me with the Ravens over the years. I can't believe that you can limit a team to 13 or 16 points like that over and over and over, and that's why I'm not going to put them up there in that contender discussion.
But you mentioned those teams, the Broncos, the Ravens, the Giants all the way back when.
Seattle.
When these defenses got hot and just found something. I mean, Philly last year, a little bit. I mean, Philly last year got a hot streak, and all of a sudden their defense started playing lights out. I don't believe they're true contenders in the sense that if they're on a neutral field, like Vegas isn't picking them, and Vegas isn't putting them at within a touchdown score of either the Rams or New Orleans on their home field. They were 7-point dogs against the Rams. But remember, even in that game, the Cowboys, according to the numbers, had a 38% chance to win. So 1 out of every 3 games, they would win that game. So with that in mind,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you would look at it like that. That's just a one-off.
Yes, and it is a one-off. And to do a one-off like that 3 times in a row, you got to multiply those numbers together. And I'm not doing the math on the air, but the point is that it gets exponentially more difficult as you go down that road. So, yes, it's very difficult to imagine the Cowboys being able to put together back-to-back-to-back-to-back defensive performances like they would probably have to. But it's not entirely out of the question. So, yeah, Sean, I guess I'm the optimistic guy that says defenses and running games typically in the playoffs do travel, and they can kind of go anywhere and win games. I don't think it's likely that they would be in the conversation, but I would have said hell no 4 weeks ago.
We all would have.
2 weeks ago, I'd have said hell no. And as we sit here today in December, I say there's a slight part of me that thinks they could.
And that gets me to my long answer. Is defenses have proven they can win in the postseason. Now, I do not expect defenses don't carry over year to year. The thought process that we have locally is that this defense is going to be good for 3 or 4 years. It's not.
That's what the Eagles thought.
That's what the Eagles thought. Defenses, that's what Jacksonville thought. Defenses don't carry over year to year. You have your crazy season, and then you regress to the mean. It's just normal. It's not because the defense is bad, just because things don't break the right way. You face different teams every year. You face different quarterbacks every year. I will say this. If you gave me the choice of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning over 15 years, I'm taking those players. If you gave me the choice of any of those individual quarterbacks or the best defense in any single year, I'm taking the best defense.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm taking the number one most dominant defense that year over the quarterback.
Okay.
The quarterback will win in the long run over the 15-year stretch. The defense cannot sustain that. But in any one playoff where it gets cold and you don't throw as much and everything, I'm taking the defense. There's a reason.
You still think all that applies today in this world of NFL
absolutely
offense?
does. We just saw it on Thursday.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. If you look at it, you go down since the year 2000. There are I did this study not too long ago. There are only 2 times where a defense outside the top 11 won a Super Bowl, and that was one was the Saints and one was the Colts.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't happen. All right. It doesn't happen. You win Super Bowls. When Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl, what were they ranked? Number 2. Tom, every time he's won, they've been in the top 8 in scoring. When Peyton won in 2015, where were they? They were right up there in the top. Flacco, where were they? Right there. The Giants, their scoring defense, their yards per game, it was just amazing.
I just wish we had. I could think about that Ravens, Jacksonville, Denver formula if we had more takeaways. The Cowboys on the season are 20th in the league when it comes to taking the football away. They have 14 takeaways on the entire season. You know what the Bears have? 30.
Woo!
The Bears have 30. Cleveland has 27. Miami 25. And then obviously all the other teams until you get down to the Cowboys at 14. We just don't have that special trait or ability to create turnovers, and that's what keeps them and prevents them from being a special defense that I think Jacksonville was last year, and Seattle obviously was, and Denver definitely was. So I hope I'm wrong again. It's burned me in the past. It shut down my betting account, no doubt about it. It cost me a lot of money just not believing that the defensive performances could be repeated, and that's just what my gut says. Even though what we saw Thursday against the Saints